A Minnesota GOP meeting underway right now as the party is in crisis mode following the indictment of a prominent party donor and ally. Good evening. I'm Amy Hockert.
And I'm Courtney Godfrey. The GOP also responding to new allegations tonight. But let's start with Thursday, when Minneapolis-based Republican strategist Anton Lazzaro was arrested on federal charges of sex trafficking minors. Since then, a 19-year-old St. Thomas student reportedly linked to Lazzaro, also arrested on the same charges.
And calls have since mounted for the Minnesota GOP chair Jennifer Carnahan to resign due to her close relationship with Lazzaro. Right now, at least a dozen GOP officials are calling for her to step down. However, none of the Republican congressional members has done the same. Tonight, members of the Minnesota GOP and state legislators are calling for the release of any non-disclosure agreements that may be preventing people from speaking up, as well as a full independent financial audit of the party.
Fox 9's Mitty Hicks joins us live from the GOP headquarters to break down the discussion happening behind closed doors tonight. Mitty?
Well, that's right, Courtney and Amy. At least 15 members of the GOP's executive committee are meeting right now to discuss plans on moving forward with allegations of what they call a potential cover-up from its party's chair.
So we need to release them of their non-disclosure agreements.
Representative Jeremy Munson, who represents southern Minnesota, is a part of a growing list of Republicans asking state GOP leaders to get rid of any non-disclosure agreements that would prevent people in the party from talking.
One of the most concerning things that I've found also is that there were non-disclosure agreements that the chair pressured the board members to sign that prohibit them from talking about what's going on in the state party.
One of the things he wants cleared up is the financial ties with Anton Lazzaro. Lazzaro is currently in custody as he's facing at least 10 federal charges related to sex trafficking of minors. He founded the political action organization Big Tent Republicans PAC, which has contributed more than $40,000 to GOP campaigns statewide, including Carnahan and her husband, Congressman Jim Hagedorn. Munson signed a letter with 3 other GOP lawmakers saying the party is in crisis and asking for Carnahan to resign. That list keeps growing. The latest is from the Minnesota College Republicans, who released a statement saying Carnahan is no leader for the next generation of Republicans and is calling for her resignation.
This is just embarrassing. I think the longer she waits around, the worse it gets for our party.
And as for Lazzaro, he's expected to reappear back in court tomorrow afternoon. Live in Edina, Mitty Hicks, Fox 9.
Thanks, Mitty. Well, also new tonight, we just talked about the Minnesota College Republicans. Well, they claim that a former state party employee sexually harassed several young women, one of them allegedly a Minnesota College Republican. Now, the organization also accuses Chairwoman Carnahan of being aware of that incident and not taking any action. Also tonight, the party is responding to these claims that the chairwoman had knowledge of any sexual harassment allegations, but it's not clear if that is the same incident as the one referred to by the college Republicans. It's very complex here. In a statement, they say that the allegations are categorically false. They reference an incident in November of 2020 in Georgia and say Chairwoman Carnahan wasn't made aware of the allegation until April 7th during her re-election after the claim had been resolved. Now, Bobby Benson, an executive committee member with the Minnesota GOP, is now calling for Carnahan's resignation, citing her handling of the harassment allegation. Now, Benson claims that the board was never made aware, and he is the second committee member to call for her resignation.